Hey, good morning, guys. It's Goose here, and welcome to SDN Stock Talk with Ricky and Goose. Apologize for my Barry White voice today, fighting a cold, thanks to the kids' flu season and 4-year-olds going to school. Anyway, just want to remind you guys that, stocktraders.net, guys, we're an online trading community. We got free trading rooms there. We talk about it every day that if you join our free trading floor, you could always send us a message, guys, when you join and ask any questions of things that we cover, or that, just to open up conversation with us. All of the instructors, we're all very engaging. We're happy to help you guys out and do what we can to show you, what our community is all about. I just want to remind you guys all that, nothing that we're talking about this morning, it's not a recommendation or anything like that or solicitation. All we're trying to do is show you a few ideas that we're looking at. We're not going to bring you 10 different ideas, a day, or 20 ideas a day. We're just looking at a few things for you guys to look at. We try to look at quality over quantity. There's a lot of things out there, obviously, every day. And we try to cover a couple. But please read the disclaimer down below in the description section. Let's get things started today. I'm going to turn it over to Ricky and see what he has. I'm sure he has some great things going on, and I'll be back with you in a little bit. There you go, Ricky.
Thanks, Goose. Hey, this is Ricky Romance. Thanks for joining us on this special Valentine's edition of Stock Talk. So let's get started with Ricky's box of chocolates. First up, I feel like we'd be doing a disservice not to mention the overall market. SPY got hit at 8:30 this morning when the consumer price index came in higher than expected, signaling inflation sneaking in. And whether it remains a big red day or not, obviously is yet to be determined. But we need to keep an eye on things so we can trade all our other names accordingly. As many have jumped for joy about the strong bounce off the 200 5 days ago, many others have theorized it's nothing more than a dead cat bounce. And I think that however today ends, today will be an important determinant in which side of that argument will end up proving correct. Next thing on my list, and actually the last, is ZN. And I know everyone wants to hear about this, right? Well, you might not want to hear what I have to say about it. So basically, this is my views. I know everyone went home last night and pulled up their SEC filings as soon as the market closed, dusted off their magnifying glasses to take a nice deep dive. Well, the problem with ZN is that it doesn't take a deep dive to see how shady this company is. But now having 1,000 novice fundamental analysis guys armed to the teeth with their newly acquired insight into ZN, one can only think that this will not go as planned right away. One thing that is notoriously dangerous about Twitter is the ease at which incorrect information is spread. If you read someone's tweet about due diligence they have conducted about a company and you place a bet in the market using that DD without fact checking it, you have no one to blame except yourself when that blows up in your face. I saw people on Twitter last night saying that ZN has warrants at $5. Yeah? Really? Show me. Because if you're talking about the ones in the latest 424B5, you need to go reread those. That offering is ongoing, and those warrants won't even be ready to go until April. So I can't stress enough the dangers of getting overly biased on something based on finding dirt on it. Go look at the run ZN had from 619 to 76 of last year. Do you think this company wasn't a scam back then? So what happened to all the shorts that shorted it in the threes, citing fundamentals, and then held and added the whole way up? Listen, we all know these are shady companies, but you must use your technical analysis skills to get your entries. And you must use your risk management to preserve your capital. Use the fundamentals to get a reason to want to be long or short, but use your technical triggers to get in the trade. And of course, lastly, use your risk management to set realistic targets and stops. So I just want to make sure everybody stays safe on this name because, like I said, it doesn't have to go down from here. Even though it had a crazy big day yesterday, looks like it may open with the SSR triggered, and then it could be off to the races. Don't get short at 4 and hold till 5, okay? Everybody stay safe. I'm going to pass this over to Goose. I know he's got some really good names on the list today.
Awesome job, Ricky. That's spot on. I feel like I dropped the ball. I should have had some nice romantic music going on your intro. I apologize for that. That was pretty impressive. Box of chocolates. I love it. All right, guys, let me just dive right in. That was actually an unbelievable job, guys. I mean, that's Ricky really tears these companies apart, and he's it's unbelievable for our team to have that kind of knowledge as well as research done. Thank you very much, man. That's superb. I'm going to jump right into FOSL real quick. So, a couple things that I'm looking at with FOSL, and keep in mind something as far as, what I look for in my bias and things like that is I always and will always trade what the market's showing me, okay? And I hope you guys do the same. So when I have a bias as far as, what I'm looking for in a name like FOSL, it doesn't mean I'm not going to reverse. I mean, if it are soaking at certain levels and it's obvious, or am I going to start a position on something like this if it's not telling me to? So keep that in mind. And anything that we're speaking about is the tape's going to tell us what to do. So we always, I'll throw that little disclaimer in there when we're looking at a name, and FOSL is going to be one of those today. I'm absolutely hoping for a pop at the open, maybe a little buy imbalance to pop this up into 1750. I drew a couple things showing you on the daily here. If I drag this back a little bit more, going out, not quite a year, but a little bit further out, you'll see all this in here where there was, after it made a big dip, some people started, buying some stock in here thinking they were average, and then it came back hard again. I think it's going to be, I know there's a lot of volume in here that, probably chew through a chunk of it, but this is still going to act as a little bit of a resist level in the $17 to $18 area. So yeah, I see a push up in there real quick. I'm going to look to fade it, look for a double top on it. And that's going to be one of my main plays this morning, is watching for a push right out of the gate to fade it. Might be in the first 5 minutes. And then I'll react. If it's acting like it's continuing to stuff and keeps making, lower highs, then I'll ride a core position down. And sometimes you'll even add when it breaks certain, pre-market levels and stuff like that. So there's a lot of range in this name and a lot to do. Just remember one thing with a name like this, guys. It's okay to add to a winner, okay? So if you take a trade on your core position, don't be shy, to not add if it breaks a key level. I don't want to hear like my average is coming down then. How could I do that? Well, you're still making money on where you sold it to where you buy it lower. So you got to get that out of your mindset if you're scared to add to a winner because you're lowering your average if you're short, or raising your average if you're long. From the long side, if they soak it up at certain levels and it does a big pull, the reason I drew this in is based on pre-market, right? So if it wants to pull real fast down in this 14 area or something, you could see kind of where it was holding a little bit earlier. I might entertain, depending if it makes a higher low, I might look at it from the other side. But right now, my main play is hoping that it makes a big push out of the open for a short, and we'll go from there. If it makes a giant drop, you guys know, obviously I'm going to look at the long side of it and look for a double bottom and a higher low on that. So that's FOSL. I'm pretty excited about that. Next thing I want to jump into is Netflix. It actually, while I was looking at this name, it's already kind of started to move up a little bit, but this was a name I actually, let me drag this back out on the daily. You could see it's kind of setting up for a flag for me. It did a nice pull as far as a retrace from this move here. Obviously on great news, pushed up, pulled back, and this is right in the money zone for me, right around that 40 to 50% area. And you can see what I love on charts like this, and I've shown the room this a lot, is when they start hugging the 20 days, which this is doing. You see it hugging the 20-day here, and it looks like it's kind of breaking out for flag and maybe a push on 270. So I like the way this chart is looking on the daily, guys. Obviously the market's going to have a big impact on what's going on. Just remember, the data's already out this morning. Nothing would shock me if this did right, red to green, started, bouncing right back, and we were good to go for another strong day in the market. It wouldn't surprise me. It seemed like the markets are slowly starting to settle down. We'll see what happens. Next one I want to go into real quick, the last two are quick ones, is I will cover stocks a couple times over a week or two, because I'm not going to give you 10. It's impossible every day to give you, a new name every day with, good conviction or something like that. So, if I see something setting up, I am going to come back to it. And there's a couple of names I just want to re-mention again to you guys. Same idea on KODK. You see how it's kind of holding the level here. I know it made a low the other day on that big market dip, but right now it's kind of hugging that 50-day. I'm not saying I'm going to go run out and chase it, but you see what I hopefully you can see what I'm looking at here. And what I'd be looking for is a push up on this 200-day up to 7. It's only $1 move, but $1.06, I'll take it. So this is something I have my eye on today. I think you got pretty defined risk reward, and we'll see how it acts. Lastly is going to be on Snap, SNAP. Hold on one sec. Let me pull it up for you guys. Again, this is right in my money here. I've talked about this. I talked about Twitter the other day a couple times, and I was telling you how it was holding. It was holding. And you saw the big push on Twitter up a few bucks from when we were talking about it. This is another name. Like, I feel like, right now it's holding. If it wants to break this trend and continue down, I see these wicks and how the daily looks. But if it wants to, break it and push this 50% area, I'll have some pretty good risk reward outs on this. But I could feel this, I feel like this can make a turn and push back up on 20. And that's why I got my eye on it. I am looking for this is a perfect area if we have a decent market today. I kind of think it's been holding in there, and especially off this level right here. And looking for a turn and snap for a push back up on 20. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I want you guys to all stay safe. Remember what I was telling you guys about your bias and things like that. And guys, don't add to losers, okay? Well, just what Ricky was saying, on ZN. If it's working against you guys, don't just keep adding and thinking this thing's got to fail. Take it off. Find your winners, add to your winners. Stop thinking about what the cost average is doing on it. I'm short at 6, and now my average is going to be 580. How could that be? You're adding to a winner. You're making money on what your ad is. So get that in your mindset, guys, when we're trading today, and make sure that you're adding to winners and not to losers. And let's have a great day today, guys. And I'm going to turn it back over to Ricky, and I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Thanks, guys.
Damn, Goose, that's exactly why you're my bromance. You guys got to learn how to add to a winner. Ask yourself, why is it so easy for you to add to losers, but yet so hard to add to winners? Well, if you need to discuss that, come over to stocktraders.net. You can sit on our love couch. Till then, peace.